Got a game here from Michael versus Pozdick 2022. I don't know why I added the 20 there. It's just 22. You know what? 2022. Hell yeah. The year of Pozdick. With a silly name. Anyway. High Elves and Dwarves. I don't get a lot of dwarf content on this channel. There are dwarf replays that are interesting. I think this is one of them. I don't think every dwarf replay is interesting. I don't think gyrocopter kite is interesting. So if you think you have a really cool game and I see 2 gyrocopters in the load screen, I immediately don't think it's a cool game and I never watch them. Spoilers, I never watch them. Because either you played poorly with your gyrocopters and I don't like casting poor play, or you just gyro cheese them and that also sucks to watch. So yeah, gyrocopters, big stinky, not a fan. But in campaign there, yeah, whatever. No one watches campaign replays. Here's me kicking the shit out of the AI, bro. Sick, I'm gonna cast that. Anyway, I digress. For the real build that we're doing here, we have 4 White Lions of Crace, 2 Swordmasters of Hoeth, all of them armor-piercing infantry. Pretty good against Dwarven front lines. Sisters of Avalorn and archers with light armor. And then we have a Loremaster of Hoeth and Tyrion. Tyrion bringing a lot of his dueling skills, and then Sunfang to try and clear out Slayers, most likely. Loremaster of Hoeth with 2 really good spells, Melkoth and Earthblood, both very strong right now. On the other side for the dwarves, we have 2 Iron Drake Trollhammer torpedoes, probably to deal with Warlion chariots or Dragon Princes or something like that, so I bet they're pretty disappointed to see all infantry. Not a lot of good targets there. Frontline Dwarf Warriors backed up by 4 Rangers, then Ulthar's Raiders, the Grim Delvers, a couple Slayers, and then we do have a Gargrim Iron Fist pick. Oh, yeah, anti-infantry armor piercing is going to be a bit of a problem. And Thoric Ironbrow, with his super OP Rune of Hearth and Home, giving everyone around him perfect vigor and immune to psychology. Still pretty nuts. And then a speed debuff and Rune of Wrath and Ruin. It's a pretty strong dwarf build. I think it's a little ranged heavy compared to melee, but we'll see. The High Elves aren't exactly looking like they're going to swarm over the edges. 6 frontline versus 5 isn't that bad. But it could be. Sunfang goes out, does a little poke on the Rangers. And the Sisters of Avalorn and the Archers should be easily able to take out the Iron Drakes. With their crazy high armor and low model count, they are kind of hard for the Archers to deal with, but they do have a low HP pool, so when they get hit, it hurts quite a lot. Tyrion and the Loremaster just going in deep, immediately 2v2ing with Thoric and Gargrim. The Elves should win this without any interference, but it looks like we have interference galore as the Grim Delvers and Rangers. I see some big red arrows onto Tyrion and his buddy, so those guys are taking a lot of damage. Dwarven backline's getting some shots out, but the Grim Delvers having issues shooting past their own troops. Looks like they're mostly just plowing Rangers from behind. And yeah, unfortunate phrasing, but I was halfway through the sentence. I'm like, whatever. I'm committed now. So the Grim Delver's doing an awful amount of treason right now as they continue to just blast their own troops on the way to the front line. Gargrim gets significantly injured. The Loremaster and Tyrion are going to fall back. They do have the benefit of time on their side. They can Earthblood heal this up while Gargrim is stuck at his amount of HP. Loremaster continues to try to get away, but Gargrim and Thoric are after him. Tyrion dives back, trying to get some damage out as Gargrim does a super cool animation, but he flies way past the Loremaster of Hoeth. Doesn't actually get that much damage on him. Loremaster's getting sniped out, and this is actually really dangerous for the High Elves. That is their caster, and losing your magic is a significant disadvantage. Magic is huge in multiplayer for how powerful your army is going to be. And the dwarves are entirely balanced around not having magic. Looking at you, Thoric, you're not supposed to have magic, you dick. Anyway, they all get spell resistance and armor and all that stuff, so losing your mage just gives the dwarven army a huge advantage. So big loss here from the High Elves. Also, the White Lions not having the best time with that front line. It looks like they're trading about even with the Dwarf Warriors and even losing in some circumstances because of the overwhelming range support. I get it, yada yada, but it is happening. Swordmasters, one of them is almost dead but has gotten through. The other one is actually pretty healthy and has gotten through the side. So where the White Lions didn't do amazing, the Swordmasters are carrying. Gargrim has died and Tyrion's now getting to duel with Thoric. That is a duel he should win. Thoric probably knows that as soon as Gargrim died, he's trying to peace out of here. Throws a Rune of Slowness onto Tyrion, who does have Foe Seeker, though he's already almost heal capped, so he doesn't really want to stay in this fight for too much longer. Ulthar's Raiders are a really good target for these archers. 40 armor and unshielded, it makes it something the High Elves can actually shoot and deal damage to, unlike Rangers who have shields, Grim Delvers who have armor and shields, Iron Drakes who have armor and low model count. Archers have been having a pretty bad time of it. Swordmasters trying to get into the backfield. We're killing one ranger, did about half its HP, but now they're moving on to other ones to go for mass disruption. But with the Grim Delvers shooting sideways into them, that is a lot of damage and further disruption on the Swordmasters of Hoeth, knocking them around and giving some more time for other things to get involved. We don't have Earthblood spam coming in from the Warmaster, so Gargrim sacrifice to kill that guy could end up winning the Dwarves the game if they do. Because it's really even right now, but I think if the High Elves had the ability to just run away, you know, their archers are faster and longer range, so they could just deal damage to these guys while they run away. 160 versus 180, yeah. You could be spamming Earthblood on your White Lions and Swordmasters and all that stuff, get some extra damage out. Rune of Wrath and Ruin, a little bit of friendly fire on the Dwarf Warriors, but it does finish off those War Lions. White Lions? White Lions of Grace. Tyrion's still on the hunt for some blood. Sword is out. He's running fast. Feint and Riposte pop for some extra stats, though he's getting shot in the back by some Rangers. A lot of the Rangers are focusing on taking out the Archers. Sisters of Avalorn were gone a long time ago. I don't know if they'll ever rally. No, they're gone. They're gone. They got focused down as Tyrion's going to chase after Thoric. We do have a bit of an Archer duel in the background, so I will keep my eye on Tyrion, but just so you know, Archers are firing back and forth on both sides. The High Elves definitely taking the losing part of it because the Dwarves just have a lot of armor. But Swordmasters still causing a bit of disruption and nuisance. Plus, I think the High Elves started with more Archers, so they did have an advantage at first. Bowseeker, 38 speed versus Thoric's 32. Don't worry if you're feeling sad about the fact that Tyrion can't catch him. Just know it's because Tyrion's exhausted and Thoric isn't. 36 base value versus 32, but Thoric gets to keep his 32, while Tyrion relies on Foeseeker for his. Anyway, Archers firing away still at each other. Now the Slayers are starting to move up. The Slayers would also be a pretty good target. Bronze shields, but 0 armor. Archers running out of ammunition. Pretty common against the Dwarves. And hey, look, Tyrion's actually as fast as Thoric is now. Because he's sleepy. And he gets Rune of Slowness. Oh no, one of the best elven combatants in the world can't catch Thoric on foot because Thoric has perfect vigor, and maybe you shouldn't give dwarves an AoE better than perfect vigor. Because it's vigor regeneration, it's not just vigor. Perfect vigor stops you from losing it wherever you currently are at. Vigor regeneration gives you more. Tyrion's crazy slow, and after the Rune of Slowness wears off, I imagine he's going to be slower than Thoric because his Tired's going to wear out soon. So Tired's going to become very tired, and then he'll actually be slower than Thoric. I'm not salty. I'm not salty. I've gotten over it. The Halves are falling back. Ulthar's Raider's very low. The Slayers that charged up are also very low, so they must have taken a nasty volley or 7 while I wasn't looking. Tyrion, you're still just tired. Terrain slowing him down, slowing Thoric down as well as Thoric goes uphill into some Archers. Fair enough. What are these Archers doing? Oh, they're firing at an angle. That's always risky because you have the risk of certain units just not participating in that battle, though. What's Tyrion's Vigor doing? He's very tired. Very tired. Still -4 on this terrain. Thoric's back up to 32 speed. Tyrion's still stuck at a couple less than that, 21. A lot of Archers are routing away. The Grim Delvers moving up. Slayers fighting with Tyrion for a brief moment. As all the Archers continue to fire over. High Elves have fallen pretty far behind in the balance of power. Tyrion's going to proceed uphill. Yeah, very tired gets him to lower speed than Thoric's. Thoric's just faster than our boy. As our boy gets shot in the face, throws out a final Desperation Sunfang on the Grim Delvers, but then he cancels it for Foeseeker. Foeseeker giving him another burst of speed and vigor, which he desperately needed the vigor. And there goes the Sunfang this time as the Grim Delvers help him out and clear out an awful lot of Rangers. So thanks Grim Delvers for betraying your people once again. Tyrion might be able to fight back against all these Rangers. There's not a lot of ranged pressure left, but we still have unbreakable Trollheimer torpedoes. 2 HP. And these guys are sitting at 9 leadership, by the way. Tyrion gets his final heal. Grim Delver's very low. Everybody's very low. 2 HP, and these Iron Drakes are like, yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're chilling, Hoss. I hate it. I hate it, and I won't deny it. Iron Drake leadership is too high. That's not even a Regiment of Renown, by the way. That is a single bronze chevroned Iron Drake, and he's like, nope. Vibin'. Ugh. Ugh, you disgust me. Tyrion's fighting against Thorek. Thorek opted to let him catch him for just a moment, then Rune of Slowness him as he runs away once again. The Rangers to pile on Tyrion. For the High Elves, we have an archer with no ammo that's trying to come back, but that is about it. The Dwarves are very, very, very close to dying. And Tyrion is fighting the last two Rangers, so again, if his leadership can hold, if he can get another Sunfang up the line of these only 40 armor Rangers, you could actually do significant damage. The main problem, I think, is going to be this Ranger with ammunition, and honestly, the Iron Drakes. 7 models, but considering how low literally everything in this game, 7 Trollhammer volleys could be pretty nasty. Currently, they're just doing friendly fire. Foe Seeker again, trying to give Tyrion that vigor. His leadership from exhaustion is -6, so if you get rid of that, he'd have +6. Oh, hey, look, this guy doesn't have any vigor vigor debuff on his leadership. That's crazy. If only Tyrion could have that. Grim Delvers are back. Grim Delvers are firing in. You're back too. At least you're Regiment of Renown, but God, does anything break for the dwarves? Even a dwarf warrior is coming back. Nerf dwarves, dude. Nerf dwarves. I started this by saying I don't hate dwarves unless you take gyrocopters or hero hammer, but like, come on. They're so broken. In land battles and conquest, I don't know about domination. I hear from my sources they're strong in domination, but not overpowered. But in land battles and conquest, dwarves are the most broken faction. They're S++ tier. And there's some people who are like, I lost a game and therefore they're not broken. And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't lost on dwarves in a long time. I had to stop playing dwarves because they felt bad. When I played them on stream, chat would just yell at me and I'm like, all right, my bad. Nah, dude, dwarves are crazy strong. Crazy. Nothing breaks. And I know that's their bit. High armor. I know that's their bit. High stats. I know that's their bit. Spell resistance. Well, they don't have magic, but then we gave him a guy that does magic. Why do you see him every game? Because he does magic. That's crazy. We gave him a guy that provides AoE, immune to psychology, and vigor regen. So now they have perfect vigor, giving them even more leadership and more stats. That's pretty crazy. But guys, they don't have magic, even though he totally does magic. No, he doesn't. They're runes. Okay, they're infinite magic with no limit on a cooldown. I mean, magic has a cooldown. It's better than magic. Ugh. Ugh. You disgust me, dwarves. You disgust me. GG's. GG's. It was pretty good for a dwarf game. The High Elves build almost won out. Sisters of Avalon got nuked instantly, but the archers did pretty well. Swordmasters did fine. White Lions really struggled. And then Tyrion and the Lore Master of Hoth did their jobs. Because you might, I can already see the comments. Oh, but if the dwarves are so OP, how is this game so close? Well, they had 2 Trollhammers that had nothing that they wanted to shoot at, and yet they still did pretty well. But these are anti-large units that there was no large units to fire at. So, you know, that's a pretty significant problem. Slayers also didn't have any cavalry to go after, so they just had to fight infantry and get shot by archers. So a lot of this build was prepared for stuff that wasn't there, and they still won, is part of the reason I'm upset. Like, this is a pure anti-dwarf build. This is not a pure anti-what that was build. It's still won. That just makes me so sad. If you're a dwarf fan out there, here's my thing. If you're a dwarf fan out there, like I am, pray for nerfs. Because I hate not being able to play my faction. My boys. I love the dwarves. And if you don't know that, then go back and watch my Warhammer 2 content before they were broken as shit. Or like early Warhammer 3. Because I played a good amount of dwarves. People used to like meme on me for boxing too much because it's one of the dwarves' primary formations because they don't have cavalry to defend their flanks. But I played a lot of dwarves. Then I just started feeling disgusted because they're crazy overpowered. But I want to play them again, so nerf them, please, so I can play these things, man. It's messed up. And people, if you don't think dwarves are overpowered, pick dwarves in a quick battle lobby and tell me how many times you get dodged. Because let me tell you, if I pick Nurgle... Wait, Nurgle gets dodged by corn players because of degenerate blobs. If I pick Norska, nobody fucking dodges me in a lobby, okay? If I pick dwarves, 50-50. 50-50 I get dodged on dwarves, never get dodged on Norska. That should tell you something. I don't care what little arguments you can type up in a YouTube chat. Lived experience. Tons of people in tournaments ban dwarves. Tons of people in quick battle dodge me when I played dwarves. When I play dwarves on stream, chat gets upset. When I watch dwarves, I fall asleep. There's a problem here, and it could be that everyone in tournaments bans dwarves because they just really like typing out the letters DW when they're typing their bans. It could be people in quick battle suspiciously have dinner to go get that they previously forgot, but it's dinner time right now as soon as you pick dwarves and they have to leave. It could be that I have undiagnosed narcolepsy and fall asleep during dwarf games. Or it could be that currently this faction has some serious fucking problems. And I think you should look inward before typing some negative ass comment. Subscribe, yes.